This pregnant woman was bleeding, turning the entire bench red. But the flight attendant pretended not to see. It turned out the pregnant woman had been feeling unwell earlier and asked the flight attendant to help her to the restroom. Just then, an actor waved to the flight attendant. The flight attendant felt incredibly lucky that day. She abandoned the pregnant woman and hurried over to the actor. In the cockpit, the co-pilot made a mistake that caused the plane to violently shake at high altitude. The turbulence caused panic throughout the cabin. The pregnant woman lost her balance in the restroom and hit her belly. The intense pain made her lose consciousness. The captain, unaware of the real cause, thought his beloved trainee had resolved the crisis. He patted his trainee on the shoulder, praising his excellent skills. After the plane stabilized, the flight attendant remembered the pregnant woman in the restroom and sensed something was wrong. She opened the restroom door and saw the woman lying on the floor. Feeling guilty, the flight attendant helped her back to her seat. The pregnant woman was flying to attend her daughter's graduation ceremony. Seeing the blood on the woman's dress, the flight attendant chose to stay silent. She was afraid of being punished and didn't want to be implicated. She comforted herself in the mirror, repeating over and over, "It's okay. It's okay." When she walked back to the pregnant woman and pretended everything was normal, she realized the blood had soaked through the entire seat. The flight attendant knew she couldn't hide it anymore and called out loudly for the purser. The purser calmly took the pregnant woman for emergency treatment. The situation was even worse than the flight attendant had thought. The purser made an announcement asking passengers for help, but there were no medical personnel among them. At this critical moment, the flustered flight attendant knocked over scissors and medical supplies. Due to the use of contaminated materials and her repeated mistakes, the baby was born with sepsis. The flight attendant thought the crisis was over, but the pregnant woman's bleeding wouldn't stop. The captain received an emergency report. There were still 2 hours left until their destination. The co-pilot suggested making an emergency landing at the nearest airport. Even with turbulence, he wanted to try to fly there to buy time for the woman's life, but the captain refused. He said he couldn't risk the lives of 300 passengers and must follow professional principles. The trainee was desperate. He questioned, "That woman is dying. Why won't you help? If she were your family, would you do the same?" The captain replied,
산모 내 아내다. 내 아내 때문에 300명의 목숨을 담보로 걸 순 없어.
Because the captain stood by his principles. His wife tragically passed away. Their daughter Lisa had studied hard for 20 years, dreaming of the skies. She had been waiting for her mother to attend her graduation ceremony, but instead received news of her mother's death. She regretted asking her mother to come to the ceremony. She hated her father for taking her mother's life because of his principles. At the funeral, everyone was overcome with grief. The flight attendant responsible for the incident also came. Not only did she avoid punishment, but she was soon promoted to cabin manager. Lisa wanted to skin her alive and bury her on the spot, but her father stopped her. The co-pilot, Mark, didn't dare attend his mentor's wife's funeral. He couldn't accept that his mistake on his first flight had caused her death. That night, he drowned his sorrows in alcohol. He knelt before the captain and begged for forgiveness. He blamed the captain for being too principled and inflexible. If he had allowed an emergency landing at the nearest airport that day, perhaps his wife could have survived. Mark grew to hate the captain, cut ties with him, and decided never to see him again. But no one knew that would be their last meeting. From then on, Lisa deeply resented her father. She said,
우리 엄마도 승객이었잖아요.
The captain, who lost his wife, suffered the most internally. As the sole pillar of the family, he remained composed in front of his daughter, but then he was hit by a truck and died. Before Lisa could recover from losing her mother, she lost her last remaining family member, leaving only her and her newborn sister. When Lisa said goodbye to her father, she cried all her tears dry. On the same day, Mark went to an unfamiliar city to escape punishment. He lived in guilt. Lisa continued pursuing her dream of the skies. To keep the promise she made to her parents, she said,
그래서 아빠 같은 파일럿이
7 years passed. Lisa became an excellent pilot, about to have her first flight. Her co-pilot was none other than Mark, the man who had fallen out with her father years ago.